that needs no introduction. A legend from the golden age of supercars, the Jaguar XJ220. This beast was a technological marvel when it debuted in the early 90s, and it still turns heads today with its sleek, aerodynamic design. I mean, just look at it. It's like it's still breaking speed records while standing still. The XJ220 was all about pushing boundaries. Underneath that gorgeous bodywork lies a 3.5-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine that was absolutely revolutionary for its time. This thing could rocket from 0 to 60 in a mind-blowing 3.8 seconds, which, for context, was absolutely bonkers back then. It was a proper supercar, designed to compete with the best from Ferrari and Lamborghini. And speaking of competing, the XJ220 wasn't just about looking good. This thing was built for speed, and it wasn't afraid to prove it. Back in 1992, a production-spec XJ220 hit an astonishing top speed of 217 miles per hour at Italy's Nürburgring test track. That made it the fastest production car in the world, a title it held for an entire year. Now, for a car that could achieve such incredible feats of performance, you'd expect a hefty price tag, right? Well, you'd be right. Back in its heyday, the XJ220 commanded a cool $650,000, which, adjusted for inflation, is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.2 million today. But as with any good supercar, its value has only appreciated over time. Today, finding a pristine XJ220 is like discovering buried treasure. These cars are highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts alike, and their value reflects that rarity. A well-maintained XJ220 can easily fetch close to $500,000 in today's market. So there you have it, the Jaguar XJ220, a true icon of automotive history. It's a car that perfectly encapsulates Jaguar's commitment to performance, luxury, and timeless design. And for those lucky enough to own one, it's a reminder of a time when supercars were raw, unfiltered, and utterly breathtaking. Moving on to number 4, we're stepping back in time, way back to the golden age of motorsport, with a car that's more than just a vehicle. It's a legend, a true icon. I'm talking about the Jaguar D-Type, a car that dominated the racing scene in the 1950s and continues to captivate enthusiasts to this day. Now, the D-Type wasn't just about winning races, it was about doing so with an unmatched level of style and innovation. Its aerodynamic design, with that distinctive fin behind the driver's head, was revolutionary for its time. It was a car engineered for speed and agility, and it showed on the track. Speaking of the track, the D-Type's claim to fame, its crowning achievement, was its dominance at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. This grueling endurance race is a true test of man and machine, and the D-Type conquered it not once, not twice, but 3 times, in 1955, 1956, and 1957. It was a hat trick of victories that cemented its place in motorsport history. The D-Type's success wasn't just down to luck. It was the result of meticulous engineering and a dedication to pushing the boundaries of automotive performance. Under the hood was a powerful 3.4-liter inline-6 engine that produced an impressive 245 horsepower. Combined with its lightweight design and slippery aerodynamics, the D-Type was practically untouchable on the track. But what makes the D-Type truly special is its rarity. Only 75 D-Types were ever built, making it one of the most sought-after classic cars in the world. And when you combine its rarity with its racing pedigree and historical significance, you get a car that's practically priceless. How priceless, you ask? Well, in 2016, a 1955 Jaguar D-Type, chassis number XKD 501, the winner of the 1956 Le Mans race, sold at auction for a staggering $21.8 million, making it one of the most expensive British cars ever sold at auction. So, the Jaguar CX-75. This car is fascinating not just for its tech, but also because it represents a real what could have been moment for Jaguar. See, this was initially unveiled as a concept car back in 2010, intended to be a supercar that showcased the future of Jaguar performance and technology. However, Despite a lot of buzz and excitement around the CX-75, it never actually made it to full production. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. They made a handful of prototypes, 7 to be exact, but the global economic climate at the time just wasn't ideal for launching a supercar. It's a shame because on paper this thing was shaping up to be truly special. I mean, just look at it. The design is like something out of a futuristic spy movie. It's sleek, it's aggressive, and it's unmistakably Jaguar. The CX-75 was a technological marvel. Jaguar pushed the boundaries of aerodynamics. The bodywork channels air efficiently. It featured active aerodynamic elements. At high speeds, a rear spoiler deploys. Let's talk about the hybrid powertrain, a turbocharged and supercharged 1.6-liter engine. Combined output was over 800 horsepower. It also had a decent electric-only range. A shame we never saw it in the real world. So, the Jaguar CX-75, a car that promised so much, yet ultimately remained just out of reach. It's easy to look back on projects like this and feel a sense of disappointment. After all, who wouldn't want to see a car like this actually make it to production? But I think it's important to remember that concept cars like the CX-75 serve a valuable purpose. They're not just about creating hype or showing off, they're about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that's exactly what the CX-75 did. It showcased Jaguar's commitment to innovation, both in terms of design and technology. It got people excited about the future of the brand, even if that future didn't quite materialize in the way that we might have hoped. And you know what? Sometimes that's okay. Not every great idea can be mass-produced, but the legacy of these unbuilt dreams lives on. It influences future designs, it inspires engineers, and it reminds us that the automotive world is full of possibilities. And who knows? Maybe one day, some of the technology that Jaguar pioneered with the CX-75 will find its way into their production cars. After all, stranger things have happened. And hey, even if it doesn't, the CX-75 will always have its place in automotive history. It's a reminder that sometimes the most exciting cars are the ones that never quite were. Coming in at number 4, we have the Jaguar XKSS. Jaguar built the D-Type for racing, dominating events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. After retiring, they converted a few D-Types into road-legal cars. They called it the XKSS, one of the first supercars ever made. It had a powerful inline-6 engine with modifications for the road. They added a windshield, a passenger door, and a rudimentary top. It could go from 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds and hit a top speed of around 160 miles per hour. Only 16 XKSS models were made, making it one of the rarest Jaguars ever. Did you know that Steve McQueen, the king of cool, owned an XKSS? He called it the Green Rat, one of his most prized possessions. This car is the epitome of cool. Stylish, fast, and undeniably exclusive. McQueen's ownership adds to its legendary status. Those flowing lines and iconic grille, a masterpiece. A blend of elegance and aggression worth a fortune. Now I know what you're thinking. Doug, this car is amazing and all, but $18 million? That's a lot of dough. And you're right, it is a hefty price tag. But you have to remember, you're not just paying for a car, you're paying for a piece of history, a work of art, and an icon. Plus, let's be honest, if you had $18 million lying around, wouldn't you at least be tempted to add this beauty to your garage? I know I would. The Jaguar XKSS is a testament to Jaguar's commitment to performance and luxury. It's a car that stood the test of time, remaining just as desirable today as it was back in the 1950s. So, there you have it. The Jaguar XKSS, a true legend of the automotive world. It's a car that embodies speed, style, and exclusivity. And it's no surprise that it commands such a high price tag. And hey, if you ever find yourself at a car show or auction and you see an XKSS in the metal, do yourself a favor and take a closer look. Admire its lines, appreciate its history, and just imagine yourself behind the wheel, feeling the roar of that inline-6 engine as you cruise down the open road. Because that, my friends, is what automotive dreams are made of. Rounding out our list at number 5 is a more modern beast from Jaguar, the F-Type SVR. Now, some people might argue that this car shouldn't be on a list with legends like the D-Type or the XKSS, but I disagree. The F-Type SVR is a special car in its own right. It's the culmination of Jaguar's decades of experience in building high-performance sports cars. Think of it as the spiritual successor to those iconic Jaguars of the past, a car that embodies the same spirit of speed, agility, and style, but with a modern twist. And let me tell you, this modern twist is a real treat. Under the hood, you'll find a 5-liter supercharged V8 engine that pumps out a whopping 575 horsepower. That's enough to launch this sleek coupe from 0 to 60 in a blistering 3.5 seconds, making it one of the quickest cars Jaguar has ever produced. But the F-Type SVR is more than just a straight-line missile. It's also incredibly agile and responsive, thanks in part to its lightweight aluminum body and sophisticated suspension system. This car just begs to be driven hard, carving through corners with precision and grace. And let's not forget about the sound. Oh, that sound. The F-Type SVR's exhaust note is nothing short of intoxicating. It's a deep, throaty growl that will send shivers down your spine every time you hit the gas. It's the kind of sound that makes you want to find the nearest tunnel and just let the engine sing. But the F-Type SVR isn't just about brute force and oral pleasure. It's also a surprisingly luxurious and comfortable car to drive. The interior is swathed in premium leather and Alcantara, and the seats are both supportive and comfortable. You also get all the latest technology, including a touchscreen infotainment system, a premium sound system, and a suite of advanced safety features. The F-Type SVR is a car that you could easily drive every day, but it's also special enough to be reserved for those special occasions when you want to unleash your inner speed demon. And that, my friends, is what makes the F-Type SVR so special. It's a car that can do it all. It's fast, it's agile, it's luxurious, and it sounds absolutely incredible. Plus, it's a Jaguar, which means it has that undeniable air of sophistication and class that you just don't get with other sports cars. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doug, this all sounds great, but what about the price? Well, the F-Type SVR isn't cheap. It starts at around $125,000, which puts it in direct competition with some of the best sports cars in the world. But here's the thing, I think it's worth every penny. You're getting a car that's not only incredibly capable, but also exclusive and stylish. Plus, you're getting a Jaguar, a brand that has a rich history of building some of the most iconic and desirable cars in the world. So, if you're in the market for a high-performance sports car that ticks all the boxes, the F-Type SVR should definitely be at the top of your list. It's a car that will put a smile on your face every time you get behind the wheel, and it's a car that you'll be proud to own for years to come. And there you have it, the Jaguar F-Type SVR, a fitting end to our list of the top 5 most expensive Jaguar cars ever. From the legendary D-Type to the modern marvel that is the F-Type SVR, Jaguar has a long and storied history of building some of the most incredible cars the world has ever seen. These cars represent the pinnacle of automotive engineering design and performance, and they continue to inspire and excite enthusiasts like me to this day. So the next time you see a Jaguar on the road, take a moment to appreciate the legacy that it represents. It's a legacy of speed, style, and innovation, and it's a legacy that I'm sure will continue for many years to come. Well, there you have it, folks. The top 5 most expensive Jaguar cars ever. From the track-dominating D-Type to the modern marvel that is the F-Type SVR, Jaguar has consistently delivered vehicles that are as beautiful as they are powerful. We've seen how these cars have made their mark on automotive history, from their iconic designs to their impressive performance on both road and track. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more automotive adventures. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we'll be diving into the world of, well, you'll have to wait and see.